Very good evening from London. US markets today have been trading with very much one eye on the FOMC rate decision due tomorrow. We've had some positive data out of the US, the Chicago PMI beating expectations at 53.7. We've also had a higher consumer confidence figure, and that has some spurred, or that did at the time of the release of the data, spur some moves to the downside in the US equity space, as many market participants took this as a signal that possibly some further easing measures out of the Fed may not be as drastic as some may hope for, especially given the latest commentary out of Hills and Rath over the last week or so. So that two-day meeting did begin as scheduled today, but interesting to note for the decision tomorrow, there will be no Bernanke press conference and no guidance in terms of the FOMC members' rate forecast. So we're having just the meeting at 7:15 London time with the release of the comments out of the FOMC. Many market participants merely speculating now that the Fed will continue their wait-and-see mode and will continue to look for a possible forward-looking in terms of the rate guidance to 2015 for the pledge on low Fed funds rate, and that will possibly be the only action taken by the Fed. So that leading then to some general positioning towards there in the equity markets in the US. Otherwise, particular focus has been paid onto Facebook today. Their shares have been sliding again, trading down with losses of around 6.25% in trade today. That follows a price target cut at Bernstein pre-market, with continued focus on their weak earnings that were released around last week. Otherwise, the euro currency again is generally just moving in line with European headlines. Very little in terms of flow, given it is month end and we are still awaiting the comments and decision out of the ECB. In terms of the euro currency, there was some definite moves following the comments out of the German finance ministry earlier in the European session that there will not be any banking license for the ESM, the European Permanent Bailout Rescue Mechanism, and this is going contrary to reports we had in the overnight press. Otherwise, looking slightly forward then, in overnight news, we do have the Chinese manufacturing PMI expected as a reading above 50, expected to come in at 52. Just watch and be mindful then that there is some market talk earlier in the European session of a weaker Chinese manufacturing PMI, and on the Wednesday of the last 2 months, just prior to the Bank of England rate decision at midday London time, we've had China cutting rates. And so we are looking for any further indications that this may be the case if in fact the manufacturing data does come out weaker than expected. After the market closed today, there's no expected large cap stock to report, but nevertheless action will pick up in the European morning tomorrow, and we also have the European PMIs to follow in the European session. That's enough from me then. Hope you've had a good trading day, and we'll join you bright and early tomorrow morning. Thank you.